I'm back, guys, here to talk with you about healing through withdrawal. And today I'm really excited to talk with you about kids in withdrawal because I have kids and I went through psychiatric drug withdrawal with 3 kids. And so I know some of you are in that situation. And if that's you, I would love to share with you just some of the journey for me about things I learned about how to protect my kids through while I was going through such a hard thing, how to care for them and still heal. So if that's you and that's the situation you're in, just take heart, take hope that they can come through this, you can come through this and be doing really, really well. And so, also, if you would like to meet with me just to talk about withdrawal for coaching, for support, or encouragement, you can see the link in the description and go to my website to sign up for time to talk with me. And I would love to be able to walk with you through this time and connect with you. So just know I'm available and would love to do that. And I am my background is in therapy and I am a practicing therapist, but this would be coaching since that's what's helpful for withdrawal. And so I would just love to be able to offer that and connect with you in any way that's helpful for you going through this and surviving and healing. So, some of the things I learned through withdrawal is that my feelings were enormous and bigger than life, and they were very, very hard to manage, and it was scary and terrifying. And yeah, I had kids to care for at the same time. And it might seem like, well, this is a worst, if you're in that situation, a worst possible scenario, because then I don't have the space to heal, or I don't have the resources to heal, or things like that. So you might feel like this is a worst case scenario. But I just encourage you that actually the two can go together and you guys can become very resilient. Like you can go through withdrawal and have your kids and be okay. And so I'll share with you some of the things that helped me through it and my kids through it. And not every case is the same. So if you're finding yourself in a position where you can't do some of these things or this isn't helpful to you, just pick and choose what is helpful for you and what does apply for your situation and your needs. Because withdrawal does look different for each of us. And there's a lot of similarities because it's a very unique and hard and bizarre experience. But just know that your story is your own too. So this might not all apply to you. So pick what is helpful for you. So the one thing that can be really great about being a parent while you have withdrawal is you already have a sense of ongoing responsibility to act normal in front of your kid. And that can actually serve you well in like the pretending as if you're fine. So if for instance, you're going through your day, you might be kind of faking that you're okay in front of your kid, or like, you're getting them breakfast or, getting yourself breakfast or whatever, getting them ready for school or something like that. And you're trying your best to act like you're okay. And that might feel like it's a huge burden or like really hard to rise to that when you're also experiencing a lot of symptoms. Maybe it's hard to walk. Maybe it's hard to cook. Maybe it's hard to be around food. Maybe you can't be around food. And so you're like, I'm only feeding them cereal. But the fact that you have a focus outside of yourself and a focus on your child is actually helpful for you because it helps pull you away from you so heavily focused on those very demanding symptoms. So it's actually helping pull your brain and showing your brain you can focus on someone else. And maybe it's way more limited than it used to be, and that's discouraging. But my encouragement to you is that it still has an effect of like exercises, like almost like brain exercises of you're like, well, I'm gonna focus on them until they're out the door to school or whatever. And that hour, that 2 hours that you're focused on them, that's like an exercise for your brain of like of positive focus and a positive effort. And it's way more hard than it is normally because you're in this situation. And it's not always going to be that way. You aren't going to always have the insomnia and the nausea and the headache and the body shakes and, all of these terrible symptoms you could be having, the looping thoughts, the terror, things like that. But like the fact of going through the motions for someone else is actually good for you. And maybe you can only do it for an hour, maybe it's a half hour and then you need a break. But whatever amount you're able to, show up for your kid and go through the motions and trying to be as positive as you can in front of them and for them is actually good, like exercise for you to practice coming back to normal. So, and that's going to add up over time. So it might seem overwhelming, like how am I ever going to go through a whole day functioning normally, caring for my kid? Don't worry about that. That'll come, because when healing comes, it really does come. And then you're just living life and doing everything normal. But think of the daily activities of like dishes or packing the lunch or reading to your kid as if they are brain exercises for you of coming like someone who's had a brain injury and they need to do these like basic life exercises and they seem harder or more annoying or more frustrating. But if you just keep doing those exercises, it's helping your brain heal and come back to that place of normal clarity. And so so that's one of the things that I definitely leaned into is learn to lean into through being coached through others and learning from others too, but like to do the best I could at the taking care of my kids and presenting that positive functioning front to them. And then that also helps them feel like they have their normal parent. So that provides a sense of safety to them, for you to just be able to do those normal life things. And then what about the things you can't do, and how do you talk to your kids about that? So that would be like, let's say you're not to the point of driving or any of those things I listed. Maybe you're like, I'm not even able to pack lunches or read a book with them right now. So, so what's important here is protecting your child and protecting you. And so giving yourself permission that it's okay that right now during this season, this isn't forever, but right now during this season, your capacity is really, really limited, and coming to a place of just accepting that, okay, for right now, I have this limited capacity. And so how do I, within that, show up for what I can show up for, so if you can, things you can do, doing it, if you're able to eat dinner together, do that. If you're able to ask about their day, do that. If you're able to, take a walk with them, do that, and if you're not, then that's okay. And then finding a way to explain that to them in a way that they can understand. So for kids developmentally, they can handle different things at different ages. So for your much younger child, if they're like used to you going outside and jumping on the trampoline with them or kicking the soccer ball, and you're just physically not able to do that right now, you might have to explain like, oh, like mom or dad, I am your mom. Like right now, I am getting better from a sickness and I'm just not able to kick the soccer ball right now, but I will watch you and I'll clap for you, and so explaining it to your limits in a way to them that they understand it's not their fault. And that gives them encouragement too, that you're healing and one day you're going to be able to kick the soccer ball with them like normal or whatever it is that's different right now. So, and then if you have an older child, you can explain it to them maybe more with more detail, but in what you want to do is do it in a way that they can understand it as something that you're going through, not as something they're responsible for or that's their fault. So actually explaining it in terms that that help to categorize what's happened for them can give them a sense of peace and predictability. So for my older kids, I actually did tell them what I was going through. Let's see. So when I started going through this, I had an 11-year-old and a 9-year-old. And so, oh no, she turned 10. And my oldest was turning 12 that year. So we actually did explain to all of them, but in their own age appropriate explanation, but that I was going through a withdrawal from medication. And what that meant was it just really affected my body, and my body had to heal and find a way to restore. And so I didn't have the energy for all of the normal things I used to do. And maybe they'd even see me crying sometimes. And it's not because anything was really bad in our life, but just because of healing from getting off the medicine made me cry. And so explaining that to them actually gave them a way to understand what was going on without feeling like they had to do anything about it, or without feeling like, oh, mom's crying because I did something wrong, or mom's crying because something really bad is happening. They could understand, oh yeah, mom's crying because she was getting off those meds. And sometimes they would ask me, they were like, are you doing better with the getting off the meds thing, Mom? Like, you seem better. And then I could just be like, yeah, I'm doing a lot better. I made a lot of progress. However it was I was actually doing, I could give them encouragement that I was getting there. So that's kind of how we went about it, in a way to protect them, but then also so that they wouldn't feel like they were somehow responsible for the changes, because children are naturally egocentric. So sometimes they can very easily think that changes in their environment are because of something they did. So then explaining to them, this change that you're seeing in me being tired or laying on the couch more, is not because I'm not interested. I'm really interested, but I am just a lot tireder because I've been sick lately, or, however it is you want to explain it. Or because if they are old enough, maybe you would say, because I'm getting off the medication and it just really affects my body. So those are some of the things that I learned to do in order to just provide a sense of safety for my kids, and predictability, and some honesty too. Having challenging times and hard things to work through, and difficult emotions and physical limitations are all part of life and part of being human. So if we can explain that to our kids in a way that they can know we're the adults taking responsibility for it, but we are experiencing these different things, then it can give them permission, it can give them a sense of peace that they're not responsible. And also just like this is part of being human, like going through hard things or having hard feelings, and it's okay. We can go through it and do okay and get better, and it can teach a sense of resilience. So those are some of the things that I did. I also, if you have moments, because I had some really hard moments of losing your temper or crying in front of your kids or saying something you regret, that I just want to encourage you to not fret too much about it, and just to know that repairing the relationship, apologizing to your kid and checking in with them later, goes a really long way, and that it's part of being human to lose our to have emotions and to not do things perfectly. And so I just encourage you, if that happens, because we're so vulnerable when we're going through withdrawal, our emotions are so vulnerable. So you might be you used to have an easier time managing kids and their noise or their behaviors or whatever, and then it just feels like you can snap way more easily because of your neuro emotions or just your exhaustion. So that's where I learned just repairing the relationship and focusing on also the positive in the relationship, building on anything positive that's there that you can be investing in. And then let me see if there's anything else. I wrote down some stuff. Oh yeah, also like creating an emotional buffer for yourself. So like what are the things that are helping you emotionally get through the day? So just making sure you're allowing yourself to get the support you need and the breaks you need and the time to regroup that you need, the nutrition you need, like really making sure that you get that to get through your day because you healing is really important and that's important for your kids too. So those are just some of the things that I learned, and I hope it's helpful to you. I would love to hear any of your comments or responses to any of those things, tips and tricks that I learned along the way. It's definitely really, really challenging, and I needed a lot of support. And so just know if you're also in need of support, you're not alone. A lot of us feel that way and experience that going through withdrawal, but you'll also come through it and you'll heal and feel a lot better and be able to just feel normal again. So take heart and thanks for watching my video. And if you would like to meet with me, go ahead and click on the link in the description and you can sign up at my website. Okay, thanks guys. Talk to you soon.